Okay, good evening. Welcome back. Today is 22nd of the July. We are nearing the prelims exams, and as we know, we are going through the current affairs series. The series of lectures that we have been doing for the coverage of current affairs, the weekly series. Okay. So today also we are taking some very important topics that are important not only from prelims but also from mains perspective and from other exams as well. Okay. So we have a few topics like subcategorization of OBC. It is a very important topic. I'll be summarizing it in the end. For the starting, the first topic at hand today is subcategorization of OBCs. ठीक है, अब OBC क्या है? Other backward categories. So OBC is not as such defined in the constitution. Okay. In constitution, it is mentioned socially and economically backward communities. Okay, that is SEBCs. Okay. So what is subcategorization? Subcategorization means to classify the OBC community into on the basis of economic competence or the kind of economic background they have. ठीक है, for the purpose of reservation. तो OBC categorization का meaning क्या है कि OBC community के लोगों को classify करना on the basis of their economic background for the purpose of reservation. क्यों? क्योंकि reservation to OBC people have been provided and there is a provision for creamy layer. ठीक है, तो we'll be talking all this in detail. For the starting, we'll be seeing as to why this is in news. ठीक है. First of all, the Union government has recently given the 11th extension to the committee that was formed for the review of the economic criteria or for the review of the subclassification of the OBC category. That committee was headed by Rohini, Justice. She is Justice Rohini Committee. It is named as Justice Rohini Committee. Justice Rohini is a retired judge. Okay. Now what is the news? The news is that 11th extension has been given. Okay. The committee was formed in 2017 under the Article 340. Now Article 340, what is Article 340? Article 340 deals with the formation of a commission for the investigation and inquiry into the hardships and into the status and into the nature of the existence of the socially and educationally backward communities. Okay. That is Article 340. 340 deals with the formation of a commission. Article 340 mandates that the president will be empowered to form the committee to look into the issues and hardships and matters of OBC category. Yeah, OBC is not defined, but SEBC category, socially and educationally backward communities. तो SEBC community के जो people हैं, उनकी hardships, उनके representation into the public services. Public services means government services. Okay, the government services not only of the central government but state government as well, and the public sector units also, all the enterprises of the government. Okay, so that is Article 340. So Rohini Commission was formed under the provisions of Article 340 in 2017. This commission was mandated to look into the conditions of OBC category of people. Okay. Why this was formed at the first hand? Because the creamy layer, जो concept of creamy layer है, that means a special category of people in the SEBC category who have economic independence or who are better off economically as compared to the other castes. Okay, they need not be provided with the facility of the reservation. Now what happened was कि the wider conflict, or you can say the kind of voices that have been arising from across the country, कि many people are not getting the benefits of reservation. ठीक है, in all the communities, SC, ST and OBC. ठीक है. The main reason that people cite for this is because a special category of people who have already got the benefits of the reservation, they are utilizing it back, time and again, and the people who are in the below milieu, they are not actually able to get the benefit of reservation. Okay. So first of all, whenever we are analyzing the topics of polity, so first of all, what you need to do is you need to look into the provisional constitutional framework, under what constitutional framework that act or that article has been provided. या अगर कोई भी first of all any act or any article or any kind of event that is happening that is related to polity will be having like a foundation in the constitution or some statutory law. Like अगर कोई स्पीकर से रिलेटेड कोई बात होती है, ठीक है, प्रेसिडेंट से रिलेटेड कोई बात होती है, बिकॉज ऑल दीज इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैव अ फाउंडेशन इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, ठीक है. अगर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में नहीं है तो किसी स्टैट्यूटरी लॉ में है, ठीक है. लाइक लोकपाल इज नॉट डिफाइंड इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बट इट इज अंडर स्टैट्यूटरी एक्ट ऑफ लोकपाल एंड लोकायुक्त एक्ट 2013. तो whenever we come across any such issues, we need to necessarily look for the articles in the constitution or the statutory law that the issue relates to. Okay. So first of all, since the issue is about reservation, we'll be looking at the topic, the articles that are related to reservation. Okay. The first one is Article 15. Article 15 means it prohibits discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Now, very important for prelims point of view, what we need to study is what are the grounds on which the government cannot discriminate against the citizens of India. Okay? Because Article 50 mentions that on the grounds only of, okay. So I'm trying to tell you how to deal with the subject of polity. Okay? Because the polity lexicology or the vocab used here is very important. ठीक है. तो क्वेश्चन बहुत ही इजी बन सकता है. यूपीएससी डील्स विद सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस एंड यूपीएससी ट्राइज टू फ्रेम सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज वी बिलीव कि यार ये रटना पड़ेगा और ये रटने वाली चीज है. इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. It is very important because it is the directive to the government as to on which grounds can you not discriminate, or on the which grounds can you discriminate. ठीक है. So when you are in the services, you'll be having this, you'll be finding this very helpful when you understand as to on which grounds can you discriminate and which are the grounds that are not the basis of discrimination. So Article 15 very important. ठीक है. Article 15 mentions that the government cannot, okay, it mentions the prohibition of discrimination on grounds, okay, there is a mistake, only of, okay, you need to add only of. Now this only phrase is very important. This only is very important. Why? Because it mentions prohibition of discrimination on grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. That means any other kind of discrimination is allowed by the state, but on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. ठीक है. That discrimination is not allowed. So whenever you are preparing for UPSC or any kind of such exam, State Public Services Commissions also, so you need to always remember as to under which fundamental right what kind of discrimination is allowed and what are the restrictions on the fundamental right. Like Article 19 में freedom of expression पे कौन कौन से restrictions हैं, ठीक है. Is sovereignty of the country and a restriction on the fundamental right of article like fundamental right of freedom of speech, is it or is it not? So this is how you should make a chart. Like dealing with prelims, we are very focusing highly on prelims right now because prelims exams are very close. We'll be trying to deal with the aspects of mains as well, but we'll be trying to look at the points which are very important for the prelims right now. So the first point that we noticed is that we need to remember all the restrictions and the grounds on which the fundamental right becomes applicable or it becomes inapplicable. Okay. Here Article 15 prohibits. Now we'll see there's a distinction between Article 15 and Article 16 as well. How? Prohibition on the grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Article 15 में ये second paragraph or the second clause of Article 15 mentions that, however, okay, this prohibition of discrimination cannot restrict the government from making special provisions for the advancement of special category of people like scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward people. ठीक है. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. ठीक है. मतलब marginalized section. That means Article 15 prohibits discrimination, ठीक है, but it does not prohibit affirmative action. Affirmative action in the sense of reservation, in the sense of lowering the cutoffs, ठीक है, that is called affirmative action. Reservation means provision for a specific number of seats in educational institutes or in employment. But for employment, Article 16 particularly is related about employment. ठीक है, Article 15 is a general article, ठीक है, but Article 16 is particularly related about employment. We should mention it all. Okay, these are the kind of takeaways that you need to take from here. ठीक है, कि Article 16 employment in public sector or government, ठीक है. So whenever you are reading polity, ठीक है, you need to keep all these things in mind, because these keywords are going to help you clear the exam, ठीक है. Because पेपर में यही क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि which one of the following is not a ground for the discrimination under Article 15, ठीक है. तो रिलीजन, रेस, कास्ट, सेक्स, प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ, और उसमें वो कुछ और भी ऐड कर सकता है, लाइक डिसेंट. आर्टिकल 16 में डिसेंट इज एन एडिशन इन कंपैरिजन टू आर्टिकल 15. आर्टिकल 15 डज नॉट मेंशन डिसेंट. मतलब आर्टिकल 15 के प्रोविजंस के अगेंस्ट गवर्नमेंट कैन मेक अ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन बेस्ड ऑन द डिसेंट, बट under the Article 16, the government cannot make a discrimination on the basis of descent of the person. ठीक है, तो these are the kind of differences that you need to note, and these are the kind of differences that UPSC looks for in the paper. Yeah, UPSC tries to assess ki whether you understand these differences, whether you have a basic understanding of the concepts. ठीक है, तो Article 15 is a general article. It basically relates to education. ठीक है, Article 15 relates to education mostly. Article 14 equality. Article 15 prohibition of discrimination generally, and if you try to specify it, it is about education. Article 16 is about employment, discrimination, prohibition of discrimination in employment. Okay. Now, ठीक है, but here Article 15 prohibits the discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth, but it allows the government to, it actually empowers the government to make special kind of discriminations in the favor of some marginalized section of society, like backward class of people, for example, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Now Article 16 is a very controversial article. It has been amended a lot. So there has been a tussle going on between in the early 90s and in the early 2000s. A special kind of tussle was going on between government and the Supreme Court, ठीक है, with respect to the variations in the Article 16. Now Article 16 says that there should be no discrimination in public employment. Public employment in the sense all the employments under public sector, under the government, central government, okay, under central government, public sector, okay, and all the employments within the state government as well. ठीक है, क्योंकि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट्स होगी वो भी पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट होगी. ओके, तो एनीथिंग दैट इज फंडेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट, ओके, सब्सटैंशियल फंडिंग है या पब्लिक सेक्टर यूनिट है या गवर्नमेंट की कोई पोजीशन है, तो देयर द गवर्नमेंट कैन नॉट डिस्क्रिमिनेट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ ओनली व्हाट, रिलीजन, रेस, कास्ट, सेक्स, प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ और डिसेंट. ठीक है, और रेजिडेंस. ठीक है, सी as I was saying, ठीक है, यहाँ पे descent and residence or NA. Residence has been an addition in Article 16 as compared to Article 15. Now residence is a very important term. For example, a person residing in UP, he might not be he might not have the domicile of UP. ठीक है, तो डोमिसाइल का मीनिंग है कि आई वॉज बॉर्न एंड ब्रॉट अप हियर, आई हैव अ परमानेंट एड्रेस टू लिव इन दिस स्टेट, दैट इज कॉल्ड डोमिसाइल. बट रेजिडेंस का मतलब है आई एम लिविंग इन दिस स्टेट. ठीक है, दैट इज रेजिडेंस. तो only because of the fact that I am living in this state, will that disqualify me from applying into some other state? Okay, matlab if a person is from UP, is he barred from applying into an employment in the public sector in MP? Is that a bar? So no, it should not be a bar. Okay. However, there is one exceptional clause कि central government can make residence. Okay, it was added after what the state reorganization act 1956, that central government can act residence as a basis of discrimination in public sector employment for only special Andhra Pradesh. ठीक है, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, I believe, but please look into it. But only central government can make a discrimination only in favor of one state, I believe. Otherwise, one cannot be discriminated for public employment on the basis of the residence of the person. That means a person belonging to Kerala can apply to a job in UP government, okay, despite the fact that he has not been living in UP. Because of course India में dual citizenship का concept नहीं है, ठीक है. Free movement of people is allowed, or free movement not only in the terms of moving, ठीक है, in terms of settlement, in terms of setting, residing anywhere, in terms of getting employed in the government of any state government, ठीक है. So again, Article 16, first of all, it prohibits the discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, descent and residence. But Article 15 में only religion, race, caste, sex और place of birth. तो place of birth दोनों में common है, ठीक है. But residence and descent are an addition in Article 16. Now, it can make, again, the second clause says that it can make special provisions for the backward category of people if those people are not adequately represented in the government, ठीक है. यहाँ पे एक important term आ गई कि if the government believes that a special category of people or special backward category of people are not adequately represented in the government, ठीक है. Adequate representation is the key. मतलब यहाँ पे ये जो act है, it says clearly that just because some category of people are sociologically or economically backward, they cannot be provided with some reservation. What is the ground? The ground is there should be lack of adequate representation. अब adequate representation का meaning क्या है कि अगर government services में 100 jobs हैं, ठीक है, तो उसमें adequate representation सारी communities का है या नहीं है. तो reservation is not for, as we always say, reservation is not a tool of poverty elimination. No, it is not. It is a tool for increasing the representation of people in the government. ठीक है. अगर ये poverty elimination का tool होता तो it would have also been provided in the private sector as well. ठीक है. But it is government sector में ही क्यों provided है? Because it is a tool of increasing the representation of people in the government. ठीक है. Political representation और jobs के through भी public sector में representation, ठीक है. तो that is a kind of increasing the participatory democracy. ठीक है. अगर मेंस में क्वेश्चन आता है कि discuss the like various aspects of reservation, so reservation is a tool to make the democracy participative by making the person who is last in the line, है ना, providing him the opportunity to directly participate in government through either political representation or through jobs in the government sector. That is why the reservation is a tool of increasing representation and not the tool of poverty elimination. Okay. These are Article 15 and Article 16. Article 16 specifically relates to employment. Now Article 340. Article 340 we already discussed. Article 340 empowers the President to form a commission to investigate into the like issues or matters relating to the socially and socially and educationally backward category of people. ठीक है. तो under Article 340, first of all, 1993 में commission was formed. That commission is called National Commission for Backward Categories, NCBC. In 2018, it was granted the constitutional status. ठीक है. 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act के through नेशनल कमीशन ऑन बैकवर्ड कैटेगरीज को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल स्टेटस दे दिया गया था. सॉरी, okay, that topic seems to have not been changed. It is evolution of reservation in India for the what OBC category people. ठीक है, तो 1953 में see Article 340 provides for what? Article 340 provides for the formation of a commission that looks into the issues of SEBC community. SEBC मतलब socially and educationally backward communities. तो 1953 में फर्स्ट कमीशन फॉर्म हुआ था, काका केलकर कमीशन. ठीक है, it advised that all like around 50,000 castes should be included in the क्या कहते हैं उसको backward category of people. ठीक है, but the recommendations were not accepted. ठीक है, because 50,000 castes were a lot. It was considered, it is a huge number of castes that will be included in the backward category of people that could have political ramifications. So the recommendations of Kaka Kelkar commissions were not accepted. In 1979, however, Mandal Commission, the second backward commission it is called the first backward commission. The second backward commission was formed, Mandal Commission. ठीक है, it granted reservation of up to 27%. It recommended that the OBC category of people या SEBC category of people should be granted with 27% of reservation in public sector or public employment. ठीक है, but it was also not considered. It was formed during the Morarji Desai government. ठीक है, क्योंकि मोरारजी देसाई जी ने प्रॉमिस किया था कि after he wins election he will form a commission to look into the matters of SEBC community या OBC. It was kind of political gimmick, and he after winning the election, Janta government form हुई, and he actually instituted a commission that was called Mandal Commission. But the report of the Mandal Commission was not accepted, and it was thrown into the bin. What happened after in 1990 was a time of political turmoil in country. ठीक है, चंद्रशेखर की गवर्नमेंट थी बहुत छोटे टाइम के लिए, उसके बाद पीवी नरसिम्हा राव, है ना, वीपी सिंह भी. तो ये सारी गवर्नमेंट्स सरवाइव करने के लिए बहुत दे वर स्ट्राइविंग वेरी हार्ड, बिकॉज अब कोalition गवर्नमेंट्स का फेज आ चुका था. तो 1990 में वीपी सिंह गवर्नमेंट डिड अ स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉलिटिकल मूव एंड इट एक्सेप्टेड 10 साल पहले 1980s की जो एक रिपोर्ट थी, मंडल कमीशन रिपोर्ट, उसको वीपी सिंह गवर्नमेंट ने इंप्लीमेंट कर दिया 1990 में टू सेव हिज गवर्नमेंट. ठीक है, इट वाज अ पॉलिटिकल मूव. ओके, 1991 में फिर वीपी सिंह की गवर्नमेंट इट फेल, है ना, और 1991 में पीवी नरसिम्हा राव की गवर्नमेंट आई, एंड पीवी नरसिम्हा राव टू अपीज कम्युनिटीज, ठीक है, he added 2 clauses. The first one was preference to the poorer sections. ठीक है, preference to the poorer sections, and the second was 10% reservation. ठीक है, the first clause he added was कि okay, SEBC community की जितनी भी castes हैं उसमें preference will be given to 27% reservation is being given. ठीक है, but the preference will be given to the people who are economically backward. तो यहाँ पे एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टर्म आई कि 1991 में कि ठीक है, SEBC कम्युनिटीज में भी एक इकोनॉमिक क्राइटेरिया इंक्लूड कर दिया गया. ठीक है, यहाँ पे एक इकोनॉमिक क्राइटेरिया इंक्लूड किया गया 1991 में, बिकॉज 1990 में जो वीपी सिंह गवर्नमेंट ने मंडल कमीशन की रिकमेंड को एक्सेप्ट किया था, दैट डिड नॉट इंक्लूड एनी इकोनॉमिक क्राइटेरिया, इट ओनली इंक्लूडेड सोशली एंड एजुकेशनली बैकवर्ड. ठीक है, तो 1991 में however VP Singh government to appease the general category people, what he did was he added 2 clauses, although that recommendation was already under challenge in the Indira Sahni case. ठीक है, it is also called Mandal case या the judgment is called Indira Sahni judgment. ठीक है, तो you can say कि there was an economic criteria added, okay, but in the constitution there was no mention of economic backwardness. Yeah, there was no mention of economic criteria for the grant of reservation. Okay, economic criteria was not the basis of any kind of classification for the purpose of reservation. But what happened was कि now 1991 गवर्नमेंट में preference to the poorer sections, मतलब यहाँ पे एक economic criteria include कर दिया गया within the SEBC reservation. उसके बाद सेकंड क्लॉज इंपॉर्टेंट है, 10% रिजर्वेशन टू द इकोनॉमिकली बैकवर्ड पीपल. नाउ सेकंड क्लॉज इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाई? तो ये जनरल कैटेगरी के जो इकोनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शन थे उनको 10% रिजर्वेशन देने की बात कही गई. अंडरस्टूड? तो टोटल रिजर्वेशन वेंट टू अराउंड 60%, 59.5% के अराउंड. ठीक है. 27% ये वाला ओबीसीज का, 10% ईडब्ल्यूएस का 37 एंड अराउंड लाइक 15 to 18% के अराउंड SC STs का. तो what happened was it was already under the challenge in Indira Sahni she was a lawyer, ठीक है, and she challenged it in the Supreme Court and Supreme Court formed some basic guidelines in 1992. ठीक है. Supreme Court formed some basic guidelines that were it upheld the clause 1. ठीक है. It upheld the validity of clause 1 that economic criteria can be included within the SEBC. ठीक है. Because Supreme Court said that economic criteria is not being used to identify the basic reservation कि किसको मिलेगा, but it is being used to stratify the SEBC category itself so that the benefits of reservation can reach the people who are actually backward and who are actually socially and educationally backward. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इंदिरा साहनी जजमेंट में जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आई कि क्रीमी लेयर, ओके, क्रीमी लेयर का कंसेप्ट इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ कि अ स्पेशल इनकम लेवल से अगर ज्यादा इनकम होगी तो यू विल नॉट बी प्रोवाइडेड विद व्हाट द रिजर्वेशन अंडर SEBC कैटेगरी या OBC कैटेगरी. द सेकंड इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट वाज कि द 10% रिजर्वेशन टू इकोनॉमिकली बैकवर्ड कैटेगरी वाज स्ट्रक डाउन. ठीक है. तो 10% reservation to economically backward category was struck down. It was held it is unconstitutional because economic backwardness is not a basis of reservation under the Constitution of India. Although it has been now amended and EWS section को जो reservation मिल रहा है that is being provided in the same sections, but वहाँ पे it was doomed to fail because Constitution में basic amendment किया ही नहीं था and it was like a political gimmick. ठीक है. तो second ये था कि EWS was struck down. थर्ड था कि देयर शुड बी अ लिमिट. ठीक है. देयर शुड बी अ 50% लिमिट. मतलब द रिजर्वेशन कैन नॉट एक्सीड 50% लिमिट. ठीक है. बिकॉज द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑब्जर्व दैट देयर शुड बी अ बैलेंस बिटवीन मेरिट एंड सोशल जस्टिस. ठीक है. तो बिकॉज फॉर द गुड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ कंट्री मेरिट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. तो दे सेट अ लिमिट ऑफ 50% कि 50% से ज्यादा रिजर्वेशन नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है. तो दीज वर द इंपॉर्टेंट ऑब्जर्वेशंस अंडर इंदिरा साहनी जजमेंट. तो एक तो क्रीमी लेयर एंड दूसरा क्या है कि 50% से ज्यादा रिजर्वेशन नहीं हो सकता. फिर 1993 में क्या हुआ? NCBC वाज फॉर्म्ड, नेशनल कमीशन ऑफ बैकवर्ड क्लासेस या कम्युनिटीज, एज अ स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी. ठीक है. And 2018 में NCBC was given constitutional status through 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act. In 1993, National Commission for Backward Communities was formed through a statutory act. It was formed through an act, NCBC Act, ठीक है, of 1993. But in 2018, the same commission was elevated from a statutory commission to a constitutional commission. Okay, and it was under the 102nd Amendment Act. 2018 it was elevated from a statutory commission to a constitutional body. ठीक है. उसके बाद now why do we need subcategorization? ठीक है. तो these are the terms of references for the Rohini committee, the Justice Rohini committee which was formed to look into the matter of subcategorization. ठीक है. तो उनकी जो टर्म्स ऑफ रेफरेंसेस हैं, टर्म्स ऑफ रेफरेंसेस का मीनिंग होता है जब कोई कमेटी फॉर्म होती है तो दे आर प्रोवाइडेड कि आप किन टर्म्स को लुक इनटू करोगे. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड टर्म्स ऑफ रेफरेंस. ठीक है. टू एग्जामिन द अनइवन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ रिजर्वेशन बेनिफिट्स, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टू एग्जामिन द अनइवन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ reservation benefits, मतलब a special category of people within the SEBC category are getting all the benefits of reservation, whereas many lower category of castes are not getting at any benefit of reservation at all. ठीक है. To work out the mechanism, criteria, norms and parameters for scientific approach for subcategorization. ठीक है, what should be the what should be the scientific approach towards sub categorization of the SEBC community. उसके बाद to study and recommend correction और ओके जो सेंट्रल लिस्ट है, ठीक है, तो सेंट्रल लिस्ट इज मेंटेन्ड बाय सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. ओके, तो इन वन ऑफ माय अर्लियर लेक्चर्स आल्सो आई एक्सप्लेन्ड हाउ सेंट्रल लिस्ट इज फॉर्म्ड, हाउ स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स आइडेंटिफाई. आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इट अगेन. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर इज अ स्टेट कॉल्ड उत्तर प्रदेश. ठीक है, उत्तर प्रदेश में कम्युनिटीज SEBC कम्युनिटीज होंगी, SEBC या OBC. ठीक है, तो उत्तर प्रदेश डज नॉट एक्चुअली मेंटेन एनी लिस्ट ऑफ SEBC कम्युनिटीज. ठीक है, उत्तर प्रदेश डज नॉट मेंटेन एनी लिस्ट ऑफ SEBC कम्युनिटीज. व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि प्रेसिडेंट, ठीक है, प्रेसिडेंट नोटिफाइज, ठीक है, notifies a list. This is called central list. ठीक है, this is called central list. अब इस लिस्ट में, ठीक है, इस लिस्ट में स्टेट वाइज क्लासिफिकेशन होता है. कैसे कि एक लिस्ट होगी, उसमें इंडिया में जितने भी SEBC कम्युनिटीज आइडेंटिफाइड है गवर्नमेंट द्वारा, दोज कम्युनिटीज विल बी मेंशन्ड. ठीक है, लाइक यहाँ पे यादव्स और तमाम कास्ट्स का नाम मेंशन होगा. ठीक है, उसके बाद यहाँ पे दो काइंड ऑफ डिवोल्यूशंस है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कि वर्टिकल डिवोल्यूशन इन द सेंस कि जितनी भी कम्युनिटीज इंडिया में, जितने भी कास्ट्स जो हैं जो कि SEBC नोटिफाइड है, उनका नाम मेंशन होगा. बहुत बड़ी लिस्ट होती है, 55-56 पेजेस के अराउंड. ठीक है, और दूसरा डिवोल्यूशन होगा कि स्टेट वाइज, ठीक है, ये लिस्ट स्टेट वाइज प्रिपेयर की जाती है. दिस लिस्ट इज प्रिपेयर्ड स्टेट वाइज. फॉर एग्जांपल यूपी में, ठीक है, वंस द प्रेसिडेंट नोटिफाइज इट, ओके, वंस द प्रेसिडेंट नोटिफाइज इट, प्रेसिडेंट कैन नॉट मेक एनी फर्दर अमेंडमेंट्स, कैन नॉट बी मेड. ठीक है, ओनली ओके, वंस इट इज नोटिफाइड, ओनली पार्लियामेंट कैन मेक चेंजेस इनटू द लिस्ट. ठीक है, फाइन. तो दिस इज हाउ सेंट्रल लिस्ट इज प्रिपेयर्ड. ठीक है, और अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में भी कोई रिजर्वेशन प्रोवाइड करना है तो वो इस सेंट्रल लिस्ट के थ्रू ही रिजर्वेशन प्रोवाइड किया जाता है. ओके, नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज, तो दैट वाज कि हाउ रिजर्वेशन इज प्रोवाइडेड इन द कंट्री. एक लिस्ट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट नोटिफाई करती है, प्रेसिडेंट नोटिफाई करता है, उस लिस्ट में सारी कास्ट्स का नाम होता है. स्टेट वाइज लिस्ट, वो लिस्ट में स्टेट वाइज नाम होता है कि आंध्र प्रदेश, केरल, मध्य प्रदेश, उत्तर प्रदेश, गुजरात, ये सारे स्टेट्स में कौन कौन सी कास्ट्स जो हैं वो SEBC नोटिफाइड है. एंड देन state governments can provide reservation to only those castes that are in the central list, and even central government can provide reservation to only those castes that are mentioned in the central list. ठीक है, तो what are the, although the committee, the Justice Rohini committee has been given the 11th extension, ठीक है, but a draft like a draft of the final report findings was already released in 2018, but it was not formally released by the government. ठीक है, because of course of the political ramifications. ठीक है, तो first of all major findings were 24.95%, मतलब 25%, 1/4 या quarter of the jobs have gone to just 10 OBC communities, not 10% also, 10% भी नहीं, just 10 OBC castes. ठीक है, यानी कुछ 10 castes हैं, ठीक है, 10 OBC castes हैं. इन 10 OBC castes को ही 1/4 ऑफ द रिजर्वेशन मिला है. अगर हम इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द पर्सपेक्टिव, ओके, तो देयर आर 5,000 castes mentioned in the OBC list. पूरी कंट्री में 5,000 castes को आइडेंटिफाई किया गया है जो कि सेंट्रल OBC लिस्ट में है. उन 5,000 में से 10 OBC castes को ही 1/4 ऑफ द जॉब्स गई हैं. दैट मीन्स कुछ स्पेशल कम्युनिटीज का डोमिनेंस है, एंड दीज कम्युनिटीज आर सिफनिंग ऑफ ऑल द जॉब्स. Now second major finding was 97% of all jobs and educational seats have gone to just 25% of subcaste classified as OBCs. ठीक है, अब इन 5000 में से 25%, ठीक है, 1/4 of the 5000, around 1200, ठीक है, अराउंड 1200 कास्ट्स को 97% जॉब्स मिली हैं और बाकी 75% ऑफ द कास्ट्स को 3% जॉब्स मिली हैं. That shows the skewness in the representation. Even after the classification, even after the formation of OBC category, what we observe is कि within the OBC category, 75% of people have got only 3% of the jobs. ठीक है. Now 983 OBC communities, 37% of the total, have zero representation in jobs and educational institutions. ठीक है. तो ये 983 OBC communities यहाँ पे 37% लिखा है. It is a older data. It is related to 2516 castes that were earlier. ठीक है. Now it has been increased to around 5000. ठीक है. तो they have zero representation. मतलब 983 OBC castes did not get any kind of representation या any kind of job or education in the public sector. Is that understood? And 994 OBC subcastes have total representation only of 2.68%. This shows the kind of skewness or the kind of dominance some castes have over the others, and that is how all the jobs are being siphoned off by the dominant political, the dominant castes in the OBC category as well. ठीक है. तो इसलिए इसको काउंटर करने के लिए this commission was formed for the rationalization of the reservation benefits. Okay.